good game. Strictly Business, obviously coming in as a bit of the underdog, but the chance is still there. They're up against Gen.G Mobile 1 Racing. We'll find out who moves on.
Two teams, one dream, and both of them have everything in the world rooting against them. Only one can make it out here, and there's only one way to find out who that team is going to be, Jorby. Let's get into it.
Yeah, the chances for either team are slim at best. Gen.G, for all the Gen.G fans out there, if you're not aware of that scenario, they have to win the event and they need help. They need Space Station to finish at the very best top 4 in complexity to or complexity to finish in the top 6. But first things first, you have to win a bunch of games and win this entire event. Magic Bear will start as Crispy gets bumped by his own teammate off the kickoff.
Not the best way for Strictly Business to be running it off, but if you are a Gen.G Mobile 1 fan, this is exactly what you expect. A lot of the kickoff strats are going to be coming out here quickly as this one off the rip goes into the hands of Magic Bear again, off the backboard and through. But for now, again, you look at these two teams, Jorby, they faced off multiple times in the past, all of them ending in a 3-0 sweep for Gen.G. So on paper, this should be a win for them, but Strictly Business had a very interesting 3-0 of themselves yesterday. A 3-0 over 9 lives, and that's what got all eyes on this team.
9 lives, at least earlier on in this split, wondering if they would end up getting one of those major spots. But Gen.G, they have taken care of business. The desk, or teammates saying, or I think it was Stag saying 60-40 in Gen.G's favor, but you're right, on paper, but also just the pure results seem to suggest those percentages may be a bit higher, but every open could be a little different. Crispy sets it across, and how about that? Seamus finds a way to get that ball into the net as it bounces about 1,000,000 times before it finally gets there.
A lot of low boost all the way around, and unfortunately Magic Bear's touch almost made it go crossbar and out, but Seamus was there lurking. All 3 members of Strictly Business were lurking, and well, it paid off for them.
And before this open, a lot of the talk coming to North America were all of those import teams coming across, and how much would that shake things up outside of complexity. Hasn't really shaken things up too much. Obviously, Speed's team getting that top 4 in the last open was absolutely something to watch for sure. But things have seemed to start to stabilize here in North America. Off the cross for Seamus, but kind of running into each other. It started rough on that first kickoff with Crispy and Ixo running into each other, but since then it's been just fine for Strictly Business. And the dive back and Crispy in front.
Kind of just getting their footing on this one too. Of course, this Gen.G Mobile 1 team, for the most part, usually in that game 1, it's the warm-up, it's the feeler. You don't know how quickly they're going to come out swinging, and right now they're starting up pretty high, which caught Strictly Business off guard just a tiny bit here, but they are starting to find their way on in. Seamus tried to slow down Reddles here as this one gets bounced on back up field. Seamus and Ixo dangerously close to each other, leaves Cheese with the space off the backboard, and who's next?
Oh.
Reddles with the one shot off target.
That's after all that work from Magic Bear to pave that way for Cheese. Reddles had to go from the opposite side of the ball, but still something he expected him to put on target. Gen.G starting to struggle. Another demo underneath. Cheese, not quite enough. Ixo actually gonna get back to his touch. Magic Bear forced to wait. Strictly Business can't quite get out of defense right now, having to avoid demos, play these time-buying touches to get back in time. They keep getting bumped as well. Cheese getting up in front of it. Crispy gets in front of the challenge again. Strictly Business's defense hanging on. You can feel the life starting to slip though as Cheese bumping in front of the box. Crispy gets back out again.
And as hardcore as you are going to be disruptively trying to move Strictly Business out of the way, Gen.G cannot catch themselves upfield too far, and sometimes that happens, and that's where things really quickly fall apart. The center goes out into the corner, and a low boost Gen.G tries to drive upfield, and they will pass the mid, but the demos from Strictly Business are pushing everyone home. They're matching the energy that Gen.G is dishing out as far as aggression is concerned, and now 90 seconds to go, we still stay at a tied game.
Yeah, broke out of that long defensive stint. And the lanes are here. There it is. Right underneath it, Ixo beats the last defender. And Strictly Business putting Gen.G on notice. The jump, Magic Bear is just late. Seamus had the momentum. Easy touch for him to beat Magic Bear to the play. Ixo already in position. And they've grabbed this away from Gen.G. Not how they want this game one to go, with this outside bid at a major sitting in front of them. And there's another one right off the kickoff, and it's looking like game one maybe going one way.
It's starting to swing 100% in favor of Strictly Business. I maybe shouldn't say 100%. If we've been talking about percentages this whole time, that's probably a little too hardcore, but definitely a high percentage in favor of Strictly Business. That second goal there is really gonna set up a confidence booster as far as this next minute and 20 seconds-ish are concerned. Reddles just throws it. Magic Bear was there just in the off chance he needed a bump, but Reddles spots the target, and it's it.
Yeah, Seamus got caught ball watching. Was kind of turning in. Surely had to know that that ball was going to be challenged in some respect, even after he saw Crispy's touch. I don't think there was any kind of confidence that told him he could move forward there. So, Strictly Business's kickoffs, they've loved that double diagonal bot kickoff. That's what got them their third goal. Their first kickoff went completely wrong, but every other time they've tried something tricky on the kickoff. Not work out for them this time. Cheese taking control of it, and you've let Gen.G back into this game with one lazy third man. Magic Bear up with a pass over, but Cheese has no boost. What's he supposed to do with that?
Oh man, one thing I will say that is slightly concerning for Strictly Business is how close these players are playing to each other. I understand wanting to do the follow-up, but even just a little bit more distance might allow a catch maybe easier than what they're going for. Crispy goes to the backboard, throws it, but Magic Bear has the space and the boost to hand this off to Cheese, and although this one's not a shot on target, at least it's in Gen.G favor for now. So Reddles is going to try and work some magic here. This one pops up. Ixo takes it away, and 10 seconds on the clock. One goal is the miracle to stay in this game number one. As Magic Bear takes his time, drop down over to Reddles, pops it up, enough boost to work with, and Cheese denied on the goal line. Strictly Reddles, a player who, for the most part of this particular season in those first two splits, was a little quieter, and yesterday he just blew up, and that felt like what had ramped things up. He led the ranks in goals and shooting percentages as at number 3, where usually it's Cheese who kind of leads this team, and now that Reddles is a little bit more quiet, that big question mark comes up again of, you know, can Gen.G keep up with a team that starts to match their pace?
Gotta be able to convert, and you can't let Seamus do this to you. Well, Gen.G get pushed back thanks to that touch from Crispy. Everybody was pushed forward. Reynolds tried to take that challenge, and by then, Seamus had already gotten a great touch on the ball. Gets his nose square on it. He's got all the momentum, and it's nigh impossible at that point to actually make that save, no matter how well you square up on the ball there in net. It comes down to that touch, that challenge that goes wrong for Gen.G. And it's Seamus again, picking up another goal for Strictly Business. He's starting to worry a little. I know it's only game 2, but maybe starting to worry a little bit for Gen.G.
Definitely some worry out there. Like I said, I feel like question mark is kind of where everyone's at, right? You have a raised eyebrow towards Gen.G because you're like, this isn't quite the performance we were getting from them yesterday. But as far as Strictly Business is concerned, this is pretty on par with what we got from them in their qualifying matches. Again, I go back to that 9 lives 3-0 sweep, especially because they were playing a 9 lives that had just gone to game 5 against NRG. So that was a well-earned win. So this team is on a high right now, and you can clearly tell that they're following it, but a catch out doesn't result in a goal for Gen.G. Instead, it's just another shot from Cheese, sent off by Ixo.
Ixo had no boost. He didn't have to work very hard for that save. Again, you are seeing some chances pop up for Gen.G, but then when things get turned around on them, they can't seem to find their wheeling, if you will, and Crispy just drops the ball. Reynolds is thinking Crispy's gonna push that, but Crispy can see Reynolds the whole time, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna leave it. Now make that save. Reynolds gives up the touch, opens up another opportunity for Strictly Business, and they're converting everything Gen.G cannot right now.
110%. Right now, Strictly Business is playing the game that Gen.G wanted to bring out to the table. And now, as far as aggression is concerned, that usually is what favors Gen.G. Unfortunately for them, Strictly Business has some EU people on there, and that is low-key one of the birthplaces of the demo and the bump and the playstyle that frustrates you into oblivion. And 3 minutes to go on the clock and a 2-goal deficit. Gen.G really need to get control of this ball and keep it much closer than they have been in this last game.
If the game hasn't been the greatest, there's been a couple of chances for Gen.G to get set up, not chances on net. Those have not been as plentiful. The shot totals almost even, 4-3 in favor of Strictly Business. They're getting the clears. They're able to actually get a hold of the ball. Reynolds calls Magic Bear off on the play, beats the first defender, bumps the second. Crispy's left stranded. That has to be in. Gen.G finally find the board.
And I gotta hand it to him. There was a little bit of luck to that because that touch from Cheese was a slow floater. It was because Crispy had already gone out to try and stop it. He had no boost. There was no way anybody was getting back in time. And finally, something falls into the lap of Gen.G. Now trailing by 1 with half a game to go.
Whoa.
Right now, Strictly Business, they're just gonna try and re-extend.
Crispy looking a little spicy on some of these touches. They have to find a way to shake him off the ball. He's shaking Gen.G off it right now. Reynolds slowing it down, taking it vertical. Far side, he's got Cheese. Magic Bear right behind him as well. But still, they find a way, Strictly Business, to get the clear downfield. Crispy, last man back. His teammate got demoed, barely gets that touch. Reynolds gets another opportunity, and you saw Magic Bear got his claws in the Strictly Business net.
For a second, I'm sure Strictly Business thought Seamus's respawn was in their favor, but Magic Bear was already there to retake him out. And Reynolds finds that shot opportunity and back to even playing ground into the last 2 minutes.
Not a perfectly executed block kickoff there. Magic Bear gets all off the ceiling again. This is exactly what Gen.G needed in the tank. Convert on the chances you actually get. Converting on most of them now. The physical game working a lot better for them. Crispy trying to hand some of that pain back by deleting Cheese on the off rotation.
Seamus in the back end. Those demos have been lethal. I mean, both teams have dished it out, right, Jorby? But somehow, right now, Strictly Business, their level of aggression just feels a lot more fluid as to Gen.G. It's been taking them out of a couple of plays and opening a little bit more opportunity for Strictly Business, although Magic Bear's shot is going to fly over the head of Seamus. And Gen.G find their lead.
And Seamus, again, guilty of turning. He should not be turning upfield. You can see Magic Bear on your cam that whole time. You know that ball's coming back. Why are you turning upfield? That's 2 times now. It didn't cost you the game in game number 1. It certainly just may have cost you the game in game number 2, though. You gotta be a little more aware as third man in those situations. You can't keep getting punished like that.
Absolutely not. And 1 minute left to go. 2 demos on the back end just puts Reynolds in a position to make this touch and slow Strictly Business down. You saw Cheese playing the patient game on the sidewall, though it's not going to be too needed right now as Strictly Business can't find each other. This ball's still out, and Magic Bear just going to try and take Gen.G out of their half.
Aggressive posturing from Strictly Business as well. Seamus has stole the corner boost out. Crispy, every time he's behind the ball, though, he's got no boost, having to chase down a fast-moving ball. Seamus again challenged. Gen.G look like they're back in full control. The rhythm of this game. Magic Bear waiting underneath Ixo. No bump for him. Reynolds finds the way through off the 50-50. Running out of time for Strictly Business.
I mean, right now, Strictly Business 2, boost management quite has not been on their side, and these demos can't be helping either. The bump comes out, 2 seconds on the clock, it's still in play. Low boost for Seamus, he has to get a touch. Ixo keeps it up, can he get the boost and the collect? He does, it's popped into the hands of someone who wants it on the ground.
Layover on this one, and so Stacks, congratulations. Your 60-40% split is looking quite good right now. We'll see how it goes. This time, it was a fake kickoff with the quick cheat up from Strictly Business. Do love that we see more teams implementing different types of kickoffs. Some teams only have one other in the kit, but it seems like Strictly Business, they've got a couple that they like to go to, and, well, there you go. Not a kickoff goal, but you got possession here off the corner. And Ixo, Crispy catching Cheese out, expecting that Crispy touch again. He was fooled as he slowed down and giving the opening for Ixo.
Just a nice play all the way around. Although sometimes when you see all three members of Strictly Business running upfield, once all three are past the midline, you get a little nervous. But for them, it worked out in that situation. The bigger question is, can you do it again? Can you hold on to it? Or is this a repeat of the last game? Ixo, tiny touches are trying to get this one towards that net. The bump out is Ixo on no boost. Is going to have to try and follow this one. The challenge comes through from Reddles, but no way around Seamus.
Decent control by Strictly Business on defense, giving themselves a chance at a 50. A chance to get these clears downfield. They slowly split the half against Gen.G. Just that follow-up touch, not an easy one for Cheese to catch up to. The midfield gets to stay in Strictly Business's hands. Crispy, nice catch off the ceiling. He wants a bump. Oh, and wow, Reynolds. He had to wait. He knew jumping, he was going to get bumped. So he just waited and hoped he got his chance, and the timing for Reynolds there was excellent. Cheese has to make another stop. Magic Bear gets in front of it again. And a pop-up for Reynolds to give Gen.G an out on defense. Crispy keeps him locked in. Popped across to the side, but what a stop there from Gen.G.
A crazy stop, but you gotta keep on going. Magic Bear back to Cheese. Shot is wide, and still, although there is plenty of time, it is counting down. Reynolds trying to do it by himself. Ixo on no boost manages to make his save and his part in slowing Gen.G down. And Gen.G is gonna play a little bit of the safer game here. You see that third man playing a lot further back, and that feels like the right call right now because it's allowed them to hold on to this possession for much longer than they have in the past.
Can't hold on to this ball for too long in the blue half. It's a good catch from Reynolds, turning downfield and maybe finding a little bit of his group stage stealth you were talking about earlier, Hercules. Help get Gen.G into position. They need this goal right now. Crispy, not a ton of boost in the tank, and wow, Seamus prevented the shot, bumped Magic Bear off his mark, barely keeps that ball out. A lot of close chances on these 50-50s that could end up turning into a goal. Gen.G holding on to this ball, but simply cannot find a way in through Strictly Business's net.
They definitely cannot right now, but the demos are coming out from all ends of the field. You see Cheese all the way up there trying to be a menace. Reynolds gets demoed off the play. Magic Bear's shot is wide. And Ixo, when you see his name tag in net, it feels like there is a wall being built. And Crispy, unfortunately, doesn't have that same aura right now. Cheese gets past him, and it's a tied game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, when Reynolds is carrying the ball, the work had already been done. He doesn't have the boost to actually get up to that challenge. He does his best to try to get there in time, but Reynolds creating that opportunity, and that was after a long stint holding on to that midfield line, Hercules. They're able to convert again. Thing that they could not do in game one has not shown up since.
One thing that has been missing for this Gen.G team is the ability to close out a lot of the games that they are in. They usually find their footing back, maybe even a lead here or there, but it's the closeout that has been the difference maker. And they're trying to find that lead. Ixo's shot was denied, and Gen.G is already on their transition attack here. One touch, disruptive, a minute 36 to go. Time dwindling away towards a scary OT unless somebody can find this last-minute lead.
Strictly Business all off the ball. Seamus has to hope he gets the challenge. That's the best work he could have got out of that. Hold from Magic Bear. Flips back around for the dunk. Excellent positioning there as well. The slowdown from Cheese. Gen.G really thinking about the approach on the 50s. It's giving them opportunities. Strictly Business's defense has not made it easy.
I feel like with a defense like Strictly Business 2, a lot of the times a team like Gen.G Mobile 1 should, in theory, be able to easily get them off field. They're known for the bumps and the demos. The shot is wide and the save comes through. No follow-up after that from Ixo. Crispy's gonna try his hand at it with a half a tank to work with, but this one's still off target. And Gen.G's hearts are racing. Demos are coming out. They're like, just send them back into their own half at this point, and it works enough to get past the mid line. Magic Bears up to slow it down. Jordan with 30 seconds to go and a wide shot on target. Strictly Business are ramping things up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see the demo totals after this game, as Magic Bear has just been killing everybody. Everybody on Gen.G at least getting involved, throwing hands. Strictly Business trying to keep things all professional here in the orange half. Cheese across. Seamus was able to cut Reynolds off. Now Reynolds lost the ball. No boost for Seamus either. Look like something will develop unless Magic Bear's just given the free lane out. And he'll drop the ball, but Ixo doesn't cough up the ball. We got overtime.
A very intense one at that, because any foot forward past your opposition is going to be a huge amount of confidence into the rest of the series. Again, this is a very close matchup, and the teams realize it, and Gen.G has to respect the fact that Strictly Business have really been on top of their game here in this third open qualifier. Both of them still have a foot, a tiny foot, maybe more like a toe in the door towards Birmingham at this point, but they're not out yet.
Don't stub it on the way in. Free lane, but no boost for Ixo. Crispy also trying to get himself in position. Has Crispy ever had boosts in this game? Every time we see him.
I don't think so.
Going Reynolds. Another opportunity for Reynolds in front of the box, and he doesn't put it on target. Ends up ripping it wide. Ixo drops this down. Pass in front. Crispy will score, but Ixo goes vintage here.
You saw low boost in the back end, not only for Magic Bear, but also for Cheese. And Cheese, unfortunately, when he went up and down, that left that net.
Right. But you said it yourself, right? Closing these games has been an issue for Gen.G. It's continuing to be an issue here against Strictly Business.
Well, another opportunity in this best of 7 for Gen.G to tie up the series is in front of them. Otherwise, Strictly Business will head on over to a match point if they collect another win here. This 150 is back into the hands of Cheese, and these challenges from Strictly Business are so much quicker than they were before. Even in the beginning moments of the games, right? You don't see it that fast, and this is just going to be a testament to how intense Strictly Business is going to be playing in this game number 4.
Crispy was trying for the undercarriage double tap reset. Very high percentage chance there, that. Still, Cheese grab this ball. I think Gen.G, really, everything that they've done has been fun. You know, I don't think there's any issue with the tactics or anything like that. Their approach to the game, and it just really comes down to the execution at the very end of it. I think Magic Bear has been having a really solid series too, and one where if he's playing well, you got to be able to capitalize on that. But Ixo couldn't quite catch that bounce as it ripped up to the top of his nose.
That one just a little bit off, and Magic Bear just lobbed it for Cheese to try and catch. Unfortunately for him, he got beat out. And I mean, you said it best. Magic Bear has really been having a standout series, and Cheese is going to take his turn at this one. A player that we've seen score what feels like a million times at most. But one goal in particular gives Gen.G Mobile 1 the confidence in this game, number 4.
Yeah, good shot from Cheese. Had to be well placed, because you saw how well Seamus was able to cover the net there. So he put that one top corner. Another fake kickoff. If I'm Gen.G, I'm just assuming first man's not going for that ball on the kickoff. They haven't. I think the last like 5 or 6 kickoffs for Strictly Business, it has been some form of first man faking the touch and faking the kickoff. Like Gen.G, that's probably one adaptation they can make, is you got to play off of that and call them on. Like, fine, you're not going to play that first, and try to adjust to that kickoff and try to get an advantage there. You have the lead here. You know that may not last forever here with how Strictly Business have been playing. And, well, case in point, Hercules. Seamus over the entire team will pick up the game-tying goal.
It's just another catch out. A little bit of hesitation there from Reynolds too allowed Seamus the opportunity to just throw it, and so long as it is on target, it is probably going to find its way in at this point. A tied game, not the worst position to be in for Gen.G, but if you're Strictly Business, you are excited. This is the momentum you wanted. The pass over to Crispy denied by Reynolds. And you see Cheese sitting in net with that boost, at least enough to make a couple more saves out, and the clear up field gives Gen.G an opportunity to try and score.
Nobody available there, just a time-buying touch, and Seamus just beats everybody. Double tap! Seamus with momentum. Catches all of Gen.G out here. An easy give and go down the middle of the field. Magic Bear tried to time it. Good luck, buddy.
That is just unfortunate timing. At that point, you were just outplayed entirely, and Strictly Business take their lead again. This time in game number 4, can Gen.G steal it back? Right now they're being slowed down. Cheese, not quite a great touch as Magic Bear throws it up into the sky. There is no follow. It has to come from him, and well, there you have it, Jorby. He wanted magic. You asked for magic, and you got it.
Sometimes you just gotta throw a little pixie dust in the hat to get the wish that you're looking for. And Magic Bear pops out of it and will help them. It was a great touch forward. Magic Bear had to use all of his boost, get the momentum to catch up to that ball, and of course gets a perfect touch off the nose. However, off the kickoff, immediately Strictly Business were maybe making Gen.G sweat a little bit. They're certainly not making it easy, are they?
They definitely are not this time. A missed demo means all 3 members of Gen.G Mobile 1 get to stay alive. Riddle's throwing himself upfield. The boost steal could come in favor, but there was no bump on the play out in the path, and that's what I was talking about before. Sometimes if it does fall into your lap, you do have to make connection on it. That's those little aspects of luck, right, that should be helping you push forward, but Cheese thankfully far back enough to make the catch and slow down the Strictly Business attack.
Nothing really developed for Gen.G on offense, and now they have to use a lot of resources on this defensive stand. Reynolds forced to turn around. Strictly Business, more times than not, found a way to get control of this ball. Their biggest flaws in this match have really just been in their rotation and their ability to get back in time. And Case again, Gen.G get there on the transition. They make the most of it here with Reynolds' challenge. He stuffs the ball. Seamus tries to come down, and then Magic Bear doesn't just dunk 1, he dunks 2 down through the tank, and Gen.G have another lead.
We called them out on their patience. We were like, these are veterans. You should know when to slow down. And that was a perfect example of it from Magic Bear. Now a 1-goal lead off the kickoff. This ball in favor of Gen.G. Magic Bear tries to throw it. Reynolds is going to stay a little bit further back as this one's tried to get cleared. And as we count down, 1 minute left to go, a shot off target, a demo in net. Gen.G just barely holding on to this 1-goal lead.
Having to watch Seamus move downfield again. No pass connected. Crispy will hold the ball to buy time for his team. Ixo's actually coming off Gen.G's back wall, floating down. 2 committed from Gen.G, and Seamus will catch it again. Trying to float this ball as long as possible. Another 50, Magic Bear. Can't find Reynolds, he had no boost. Shot denied for now, Seamus has to race back. Gen.G kind of run into each other, then Cheese gets bumped on his way back to the ball. Ixo demos Cheese out. In the last 30 seconds, Strictly Business, you thought they might have had a play there, but somehow Gen.G got this ball back in the blue.
Right now, Gen.G Mobile 1 have the resources to hold on for the next 15 seconds, but it's possession that's the difference maker. This one goes back. Reynolds already there. He's going to try and waste this time. He fakes the reset and tries to go under, and it keeps Strictly Business back just enough. 1 second, a shot, and a dream denied. This one instantly equal with each other right now, although series in general is tied. Next game winner will claim match point.
Gen.G done enough work to tie this up. It's not just one game you gotta win. Strictly Business playing spoiler in this game are certainly giving you the bang for your buck if you were hoping for a close one. I'm sure Gen.G fans, it's nothing new, although I'm sure they're hoping for something new, something easy for once, but hey, that's part of being a fan. Ixo and Crispy cut off here, and Seamus. At times, he's looked like the best player in the lobby, and at other times, he's looked like a liability as third man, but when he pops off, it definitely flashes on the screen. They need that again here for Strictly Business, as Ixo's just trying to buy some time on defense.
Crispy went up for his challenge. Good bump off the plate there, although this one clears up field. Crispy has no boost in the tank to work with, which means Magic Bear, the one that's kind of been starring out, has kept this in the possession of Gen.G. 3:54 on the clock right now. First minute scoreless feels like a little bit of unfamiliar territory, especially with the amount of kickoff strats we've seen in the past, but the Magic Bear bumps are not even enough to open up a clear path against the strength of the Strictly Business defense.
Yeah, he's like the bear plow in this series. He's always screening across. He connects every time. I think that's the interesting part, is that you connect on so many of those bumps, and the fact that you weren't able to convert on how many of those have happened throughout the series. That is testament as well to Strictly Business's defense. I know I've talked about how Gen.G has missed a couple of their opportunities. Really, it's just 2 opportunities in particular that I'm talking about. Other than that, though, Strictly Business's defense has, well, they've held up. They've passed the test for the most part. CMOS trying to get it through right now. Magic Bear's backwards. Not much he'll be able to do unless Crispy just gives him a chance back at the ball, which he will.
CMOS took this one into the corner. There's that close play behind each other that I was talking about from Strictly Business. Cheese pops this one up. No boost means Reynolds just has to play the patient game, and he does. And this one's not going to fall back into his hands. It's one to the other, but a takeaway from Magic Bear, and a reset forward down isn't in, but it's an insane attempt from Gen.G.
Crispy on the point with no boost again. Starting to become a law of the universe at this point. Another clear for Gen.G, but what do you got here? Magic Bear is smart to leave the challenge. Now he has a chance on the ball. Fakes the go-ahead on the reset. Cheese goes up high, and again, no window. Reynolds has to buy time. The ball hang time helps out as well. Double deletion. They've given up the ball. CMOS not quite far away enough, and he makes 2 solid challenges on 0 boost to get his team out of dodge.
Reynolds has the boost to make this challenge and keep it out for now. As Ixo's up next, this one's under 1. Reynolds past the midline, nobody there to help him out. It's him versus the entirety of Strictly Business. Towards the corner, the bump means the follow's gonna be a little slow, and it's out.
Crispy, jump up again with the wave dash. It's just hard to really get the ball in a solid position to push it forward when every time you're behind the ball, what a save, Crispy. You're having to do it unlimited boost and almost dropped it into the bucket. CMOS also demos Reynolds, so no follow-up will be coming. And Crispy gets through. Good first 50. The follow-up, he'll bump Magic Bear. CMOS is playing off Ixo here. And what? Wait, why? How? Huh?
There's a lot going on there, and Gen.G better be putting their hands together saying thank you to the Rocket League gods in that moment. The demo comes through, Magic Bear off the backboard, Ixo, Crispy are all discombobulated at 1. How did that not find its way in? And 2, we gotta do it again.
Look, I don't often see a bear murder somebody, but I saw a bear get away with murder there by leaving the net completely open and then somehow getting that save. But with 30 seconds left, it's still 0-0. Both teams trying to take the lead in the series. And across, Crispy avoids the bump. No boost, no flicks. Ixo has to help out. CMOS finding Ixo with 50. No contact.
Reynolds has to anticipate the challenge. This one does get past 1. It was CMOS trying to push his way forward. Instead, 5 seconds on the clock as Ixo has just enough, but Cheese has more. 3 seconds left, and Gen.G take the lead.
Oh, it's such a tough hit for Ixo on low boost. The touch has to be perfect. It wasn't, and the ball bounces underneath his car. He's left stranded, trying to buy his team time. Cheese will collect with 3 seconds remaining, but the kickoff going one way down to the ground. Gen.G 1 away from surviving.
A little less predictable. So Strictly Business down by 1 in the series. Match point though for Gen.G Mobile 1.
Gen.G would love to close it out here. They do love themselves a distance series though. You know, game 5s, game 7s. I'm sure 6 would be just fine for them here. Strictly Business have definitely made things difficult. That last game, outside of that one opportunity that Magic Bear was able to take away from them when he gave it to them, they haven't really been able to generate much more out of it. So how do you respond now that Gen.G have locked things down and have played a lot more consistently behind this ball, have been able to control these 50s? Magic Bear straight up wins the touch. Reynolds wants cheese, but he has no boost. And oh, that's so nice when the boost just spawns as the ball's rolling towards you. I wish that happened to me more often.
I feel like that was also a good little tiny moment of communication. Cheese was like, in the off chance this spawns, just run it back. If not, we have enough time for a tiny touch, bro.
I'm thinking, why in the world are you passing this to me? I have no boost.
It worked in their favor at the end of it, and right now Strictly Business are doing what we've seen so many times in the past, just holding back what, you know, is like 10 shots from Gen.G at this point. They're just throwing themselves at it, and Strictly Business, the difference maker has been, you know, you're not in your half anymore, and now Reynolds is demoing, bumping off the play. Magic Bear has the ball. I mean, Strictly Business, you gotta regain some control.
And the only player with boost just got deleted. CMOS will be out for another second. Spawned underneath the rotation, and there ain't no way you're catching back up to it. Magic Bear will collect, and this time, Gen.G, they switch it right back. The demos, the bumps, the physical game, they've starved them out, and nothing Strictly Business could do about it. Got whittled down there by Gen.G.
Such a beautiful play, too, from Cheese. I gotta give that man his flowers right there. That is a player who, you know, 8 times out of 10 is the one making the difference on this team. And, you know, since his debut on this roster, there's been a lot of talk about him. Can he keep up with veterans like Reynolds and Magic Bear? And as time has gone on, he's gotten a lot better at it. And the Magic Bear is gonna show him who's boss. The demo play to give Gen.G Mobile 1 a 2-goal lead.
The aerial bear this time, and when you strap a laser to the bear as well, that's a little deadly. And yeah, good luck surviving. Explodes it through. Magic Bear having a great series. Even in the games Gen.G had lost, thought he had solid games, putting his team in position to at least do something with this ball. And he's even right there. The 50 gets away from the Strictly Business rotation. Reynolds gets a chance to do something with it, and he'll find Magic Bear back in stride.
It was a beautiful communication, too, because he landed a little awkwardly off that sidewall, and Magic Bear just takes it back, takes another shot. That bottom right corner seems to be a favorite, and if Strictly Business recognize that, things might slow down a tiny bit. But for now, a 3-0 lead this early on is a recipe for success.
Well, here's something Gen.G fans probably aren't too used to. A game 6 and it's 3-0. You're not stressing out as someone's going absolute. Well, okay. Well, okay. You know, you're not stressing out.
What?
Not yet.
You know what?
I almost cursed your boys, but there you go. They get another goal. See, you're
You
big
definitely
chill.
did. Thank you, Reynolds, because, you know, as the resident Gen.G supporter, even in a game 6, it's never enough. A 4-0 lead is a little bit more comfortable, but, you know, for the 30,000 delusional people out there that think, you know what, we're gonna pull off. Whoa, delusional in a respectful way. I'm with them, okay?
Respectfully delusional. Respectfully, you're delusional. It's not on my bingo card.
They're trying to pull off the GK run, right? Or the GK run, excuse me. So, I mean, there's an aspect of, you know, crossing your fingers and hoping for the best in this.
Might even be one better than the GK run if I could pull something like that off. It's the first of many games for Gen.G. And again, ad nauseum, as we've said it about 1,000,000 times, I'll say it 1,000,001. Gen.G, to make the major, they not only have to win the entire event, but they need one of complexity to finish 5th or 6th, or Space Station to finish top 4 or worse. They just need one of those results plus the win. And very comfortable indeed here on Neo Tokyo, a 5-0 scoreline, but you know, Strictly Business definitely made this difficult for a while. I think that Gen.G early in this series, I think it'd be unfair to say that they were the makers of their own struggles, because I do think Strictly Business gave them a lot of fits, but there were opportunities where if you're trying to win this event, you gotta close on. So you get out of this series and you get to play another one. But if I'm Reynolds, I'm thinking I'm never missing another free shot at the top of the box. And he missed 2 in this series. But you're coming out a winner. And that's all you can really hope for when you make mistakes in a game like this, and when every single series matters for your major hopes. The fact that you come out and you're able to adjust, that's what you got to be able to hang your hat on. That's something Gen.G as a team, you hear Raw Greg talk about it all the time. That's something that they do kind of make themselves their personality on, is adjusting and always reviewing and getting better and getting to the next game and being better than you were yesterday. And I think within this series, they showed that. They showed how they adapted. They were able to right the wrongs that they made in this series alone. So if you're a Gen.G fan out there and you know how thin the margins are and you're looking for that hope, I think there it is right there as they start their journey here in this playoff bracket.
38 seconds between Gen.G, Mobile One Racing, and a win that means everything, not only to them, but to the fans out there. There was a lot of hope that was lost after them not making it into the main event of the second open. And now, of course, in true Gen.G fashion, they have to do the impossible. And right now, they are on their way to attempting to do it. I talked about having a foot in the door or a toe in. They now at least have two as they find a win that was much needed against Strictly Business here on Saturday.
Yeah, 2 feet and a full car through the door. Congratulations to Gen.G for surviving in the playoffs and moving on in the tournament. Strictly Business. Fun to watch them maybe play that spoiler upset. And they certainly had a lot of fun plays in there. Nothing short of entertaining in the first half of that series.